welcome to Trent Valley Railway for what will be a modern image double gauge layout. The layout will be based on the West Coast main line between Rugby and Stafford, hence the name for Trent Valley Railway, and this will be a new layout being built over many years. In this episode there are pictures of the garage ceiling, pictures of the garage plasterboard walls, and the start of layout construction. Previously, this channel was for the Sandwich and Ashford Model Railway, which was my previous layout, and those videos will stay on this channel, but videos going forward will include a monthly progress update on the Trent Valley Railway build, monthly running session videos once I've got some track layout down, and also some videos on my rolling stock collection for this new layout. So first of all, here are some pictures of the preparation for the layout in the garage. The garage roof has been insulated with some simple plasterboard and then some thermal insulation roll that sits above that in between the joists, and that was a pretty simple task otherwise, trying to fit around the light fittings. And after completing the garage ceiling, I then proceeded to plasterboard the garage walls, and here are some more pictures of the garage walls which have now got plasterboard all the way around. The whole of the garage has been plasterboarded around the walls, and you'll be able to see just there by the garage door is the only place that hasn't been able to be plasterboarded due to the garage door coming out very close to the wall. And with the plasterboard that I've used, which also has a polystyrene thermal insulation that sits behind it to try and keep some of the warmth in, it would have jammed the door when opening the garage, which means I wouldn't be able to get in here. So that's the only space in the garage that has not been insulated. The garage lighting is two 4-foot LED battens, which I had installed before I did the garage roof. So as I said, I've cut around the cabling and reattached the 4-foot LED battens to the roofing that I've put in, and as and when necessary, where light doesn't get to the layout, I'll put some LED strips around the layout as required to be able to see what's going on underneath each of the different layers on the layout. Now that the ceiling, the new lights and the plasterboard walls have all been fitted inside the garage, we can now start on the layout construction. Now the layout will go all the way around the edge of the garage, and the garage is approximately 9 foot wide by 17 feet in length. And the plan is to start constructing first of all some of the layout boards on the left hand side of the garage as you're looking, and I have some plywood sheets and some timber and some support posts to start constructing the layout down that side of the garage. To provide you with a garage tour at this point in time, I'm just going to turn the camera around so you can see all the way around towards the garage door. and as you can see over that side first is where a lot of the materials and other garage equipment will still be stored, whilst I build the layout on this left hand side of the garage. So the first two boards for the layout have been constructed. Both of these boards are 3 foot by 4 foot boards. There's 2 sections there, and the one in the far corner has been cut out around the breeze box. Each of the boards are supported by a timber frame using softwood timber, which is the 22 by 47mm that goes around the edge of each layout board, and there are also 2 supporting beams underneath the layout boards in the centre of each 3 by 4 foot board. As you can see that underneath the main layout boards there are also then storage boards which just sit just above the floor, and that will be to store all the rest of the garage equipment and the boxes for all of the trains and the rolling stock for the layout. To enable the top layer of the layout boards to be supported, I've used 75mm by 75mm PSE timber joists to prop up the top layout layer, and finally underneath there are then 4 adjustable feet which are usually used for kitchen units. They've been screwed in underneath where those timber joists go from the top layer to the bottom shelving for additional support underneath what will eventually be the weight that will be put onto these boards. This is the first 2 of 10 that need to be built all the way around the edge of the garage, and also this will be the fiddle yard layer of the layout, which means that this is effectively just the first layer, and layers will be built up above this, but to get it all the way around the garage first and everything level, it will just be the fiddle yard layer that will be built first, and then it will be built upwards from there. The final thing to note is these boards at the moment are just a little bit too high, and they will be lowered, which is part of the next job. So they'll be effectively 45 centimetres off the floor for the top of the fiddle yard, and then that will still create enough room underneath the fiddle yard layer to still have storage underneath. So you can see that there is that timber post there, which is nominally the level that will then be at above the floor as the fiddle yard layer, and then the next layer above that would then be the scenic layer. Thank you very much for watching this first layout video, and I hope to give you another update at the end of April.